know he will run down runners. You know he's going to try to get to the quarterback. You know all of these things. But I'm just talking about a nasty disposition that basically infuses a defense. And I said, yeah, the Cowboys, the two corners that they were looking for, both taken off the board. They trade with the Philadelphia Eagles. I was laughing. I was like, as stupid as stupid does. I know they're going to blow this. Then they drafted him. And I said, damn, look, the brother is real. And Max, the Cowboys are going to be real. Their defense is going to be significantly better. Jerry Jones and them, I thought, did well with this. And I said, damn, I got to deal with Cowboy fans all over again.
He put a package together, moved up, and took a surefire offensive lineman. Vera Tucker, if he was a left tackle, I think he could have success. But they're going to put him at guard. Mm-hmm. It's almost impossible that this guy doesn't turn out very good. And you put him next to Becton, and so now you have, they just nailed it down. The left side of their offensive line is complete, finished. They should be competing at an elite level on the left side of the offensive line, and they got their quarterback. They were decisive. They nailed down a position. My Giants been trying to do it for a decade and keep whiffing on the offensive line. The Jets do it in consecutive drafts. They get their quarterback. They got their blind side protection. The whole left side locked down. Best first round of the draft.
Come on, Stephen A, man. You took the easy way out. You was like, oh, Trevor Lawrence, generational talent. Mel and all those guys say he's like top 4 they've ever graded. I'm just going to go with that. Yep. Max is right. If the Jets would have picked first, they would have picked Trevor Lawrence too. There would have been no decision-making in that. So we can't just flat out say that they had the best draft because they got Trevor Lawrence. No, but what Joe Douglas did was he identified.
SAT test? It's just that you talk about who you end up with.
I know Stephen A. On the SAT test, it's multiple choice. They didn't have multiple choice to the Jaguars. It was Trevor Lawrence and nobody else.
Quick on your feet.
But when you go get Zach Wilson, you realize what you're going to do, right? You say, okay, we got Zach Wilson. They moved back up to get Vera Tucker, who many people says, even though he's not going to be a left tackle, is going to be the most sure thing on the offensive line in this draft. This is a guy who did play left tackle for a year or two. He then moved inside, only gave up 2 pressures. This is a guy who's had seasons without having penalties at the position, and you put him next to that mountain of a man that you drafted last year. This is how you team build. When you actually talk about some of the good things that the Dallas Cowboys have done during the draft, I think you said it yesterday, Stephen A., they made the offensive line a gang of stars, right? Like the 5 dudes that play basketball in Brooklyn, if you keep getting star after star after star, you have 5 on the field or on the court that can't be stopped. That's what they're doing in New York. New York knocked it out of the park last night. And you cannot say that very often about the New York Jets. If Zach Wilson shores up some of the little things, right, and LaFleur can get him out of some of the little mistakes, find ways for him to beat pressure, you got a star. You do have a guy that's Aaron Rodgers-like. But what you will know is for years to come, his blind side will be protected.
Well, you have to remember, your points are incredibly valid if I believed in Zach Wilson. And I'm not rooting against them. Shoot, I'm right here in New York City. The bottom line is that I definitely hope that you're absolutely right about the New York Jets. But I'm the guy that felt like it should have been Justin Fields. We talked about this. We've talked about this for weeks.
Me too, Stephen.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying to you is that what you're talking about is if Zach Wilson is everything that that a lot of people rather expect him to be. And I will concede you're absolutely right if Zach Wilson ends up being that guy, which I sincerely hope that he is. My point is I got questions about that, and that's why I don't feel that way.
Guys,
otherwise I'd have picked the Jets.
Becton and Vera Tucker, we all agree are really good, right? Like they're really good at what they do. I just want to give you a few stats, just height and weight, okay? Becton, 6'7", 364. Vera Tucker, 6'4", 308. That's their left tackle and their left guard who can really play at that size.
Yeah.
Gettleman, are you watching what they're doing? Right there, right there.
Yeah, this better not
Here's
turn into a
the
Knicks
other
and a
problem
Nets
I have with the
situation.
Jaguars. Real quick, Molly, the other problem I have with the Jaguars, last year you let a first-round draft pick go, number 4 pick overall, Leonard Fournette. He did play well in Tampa, but you started an undrafted free agent at running back, and he had an amazing year. And instead of learning from that and saying, you know what, you don't have to go first round to get good running back production, you go get a running back in the first round where you could have built your team somewhere else. And if you just needed a back, got him later.
That maybe, the Niners feel that eventually, because Rodgers was not going to get traded before the draft, the Niners feel maybe the Packers don't love Jordan Love. And maybe they wanted to take a guy who eventually the Packers may look at and think, actually, we want that guy. He's a more interesting to us tradable asset that we want to acquire in a deal for Aaron Rodgers. They take a lot more than just him and Jimmy G and whatever else they can do. But I think there's ongoing intrigue here with the Trey Lance pick.
See, you had me and then you lost me. I agree with all the football stuff with Trey Lance. Now, do I love the Parsons pick? Absolutely. But the Dallas Cowboys kind of hit that on an accident. When J.C. Horn went, they were hoping that Surtain fell to them, and then the Broncos drafted him, so they moved out of there, and they kind of just accidentally got the best defensive player in the draft. Kudos to them for standing pat, and they better thank the Atlanta Falcons for drafting Kyle Pitts early enough. But when you look at the Trey Lance, the intrigue is this. Now, Jimmy G is on the team this year, right? Jimmy G is going to be the starting quarterback early. When does Trey Lance play? And if you move up and you give up all of these things for a player like this who not necessarily is a project, but who people think that in the end can become the best player. They're saying that his ceiling can be higher than Trevor Lawrence, that this may be the gem and the jewel of the draft. But when does it happen? Right? You don't give up all those things. You don't think that this team is ready to win a Super Bowl to still sit back with Jimmy G. So the intrigue with Trey Lance is, when does he hit the field? And Kyle Shanahan says it. We'll be able to watch it. We'll be able to see it. And the minute he is ready to be our quarterback, he will be. This isn't it's a Jimmy G's job until Jimmy G loses it. No, it's Jimmy G's job until Trey Lance takes it. And when you're drafted number 3, when they've given up all these things to get you, you got to take it sooner than later, especially when the other dude is Jimmy G. Now, the reason it doesn't have all the intrigue to me with the Aaron Rodgers situation is you had to give up so much to give him. You're not going to have Trey Lance and other things to give that are so impressive or that are so shiny because you gave up everything to get Trey Lance. So the intrigue in this is it for sure better work. He better be the right guy, and he better be a Hall of Famer because we know what Kyle Shanahan does with great pieces at the quarterback position, and you made the choice on Trey Lance.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.